Zhang Yi and his team came to the center of the Tianchang Hall, where there were already people everywhere. The forces in each city were familiar with each other and were communicating. After all, after the end of the world, most of the people who could become the leaders of a force were once powerful people. Of course, there were also some people like Zhang Yi and Xing Tian who relied on their tyrannical strength to build a force. Zhang Yi did not have much communication with the world outside Tianhai City, so he did not go to talk to anyone. He just followed the instructions of the service staff and walked into the venue with Liang Yue, Zhou Ke, and others, and quietly found a place to sit down. This venue is very large, with a stepped structure that can accommodate 2,000 people for meetings. Zhang Yi and his team found an area in the middle and back to sit down, and then silently waited for the meeting to begin. Xiao Honglian and Xing Tian also sat down in the area near Zhang Yi, but they waited for a long time, and until 10:30, they did not see Zhu Zheng appear at the venue to preside over the meeting. Zhang Yi yawned and leaned lazily on the sofa, quite bored. It is difficult for meetings in China to be held on time. It is often considered good if it can be held within an hour after the agreed time. Especially this time, it involves the integration of the entire Jiangnan region, and many factors must be considered. When he was working before, Zhang Yi was used to the process of waiting for meetings, so he had no complaints and just chatted with Zhou Ke and Lu Karen. However, some people gradually became restless in the venue. Zhang Yi pretended not to hear it. It was just that he did not expect that this meeting would be delayed until the afternoon. And all this was not because the Jiangnan region senior management headed by Zhu Zheng deliberately left them alone. It was because something happened. Time returned to 7 o'clock in the morning. Zhu Zheng walked quickly to the door and asked in a serious tone, "What's going on?" The two walked quickly to the commander's office in the combat center. Tu Yunlie followed Zhu Zheng and reported in a deep voice, "According to your instructions, I sent people to Linhai to investigate the fact that the forces there did not report to Blizzard City. But when they arrived in Blizzard City, they found that the 3 forces there had all been slaughtered." Zhu Zheng's face was a little gloomy. Several people got on the elevator and went to the commander's office on the top floor. Although the several forces in Linhai City are not very strong, they also have thousands of people, more than 50 mutants in total. It is not something that ordinary people can do to wipe them out. Have you found out who did it? Tu Yunli replied, "After our people went there, they encountered that group of people." His voice became low. "The people I sent there were all the best in Yanyun. Although there were only 4 of them, their combat effectiveness was definitely not weak. However, among the 4 people, 3 died in the battle. Only one named Chen Qi escaped back. According to him, those people spoke Japanese." As soon as these words came out, Zhu Zheng's eyes immediately became sharp, and he turned his head abruptly. "You mean they are from Neon Country?" The guard's son Luxuan behind him pushed the glasses on his nose, and a cold, murderous intent flashed across his narrow eyes. It was an emotion engraved in his bones. Moreover, in this day and age, when the world is in chaos, the people of Neon Country have once again set foot on the territory of China, not only slaughtering the mutant forces in Linhai City, but also killing the Yanyun guards in the Jiangnan region. This kind of behavior, etc., it's like declaring war. Zhu Zheng's face was so gloomy that even Sun Luxuan and Tu Yunli felt palpitations. Although this old general did not have any supernatural powers, the power in his hands could completely cleanse the entire archipelago. Once it is confirmed that the other party is really a foreigner sent by Japan, the state of war will be upgraded. Tu Yunli's voice came from his collar. "According to the intelligence we have obtained so far, their number is not large, and it is not a large-scale force. Maybe it is just a vanguard. Please allow me to lead the troops to wipe them out," Zhu Zheng said in a deep voice. He was thinking about the interests involved in this incident. The annihilation of a foreigner organization near the sea was not a big loss for him. The serious thing is the significance of this incident, which may indicate that people on the archipelago have begun to set their sights on the territory of China again. Japan is not something that Zhu Zheng takes seriously. The power possessed by the Jiangnan region alone can completely flatten the archipelago. It's just that the use of extraordinary force is more serious, and Japan is also involved with many countries. This is a matter of tangling up the entire body, so it is not a good idea to start a war casually. Zhang thought for a moment. Fortunately, the current losses are not serious. As a commander, he will not be impulsive, but choose to make plans before taking action. Where is the Yanyun guard named Chen Qi? Zhang looked at Tu Yunli. Tu Yunli replied in a muffled voice, "He has been brought here and is waiting to report the details to you." As soon as the voice fell, the elevator had reached the top floor. "What are you waiting for? This is a serious matter and should not be taken lightly. He must confirm whether this action is the outpost of Neon's massive invasion or just some Ronin organizing their own actions." The two are completely different concepts. Zhang came to the office and saw Chen Qi, the Yanyun guard, who was wearing bandages and breathing weakly. "Chen Qi, what did you see in Linhai this time? Tell me everything." Zhang asked Chen Qi to sit down and report the news to him. The situation was urgent, and he had no time to comfort him. Chen Qi swallowed his saliva and told him the results of his investigation in Linhai. The matter was roughly what Tu Yunli said, but it was more detailed. But what is certain is that the culprit who killed many strange people in Linhai City spoke Neon. Chen Qi said, "When we arrived, we saw corpses everywhere, and the deaths were horrible. When we were about to come back and report, we met a group of guys speaking Japanese. After they talked to us for a while, they started to attack us directly." Zhang frowned and asked calmly, "How many people are there?" Chen Qi replied, "We only saw 3. And from beginning to end, there was only one person who used a knife. His knife was very fast, and he cut off Shui Ting's arm with one knife." Chen Qi's face was a little gloomy. He thought of his comrades and felt sad. "As soon as we fought, we felt that we were not at the same level as the other party. So the 3 of them tried their best to hold the other party back, creating an opportunity for me to come back and report. Fortunately, our transportation is better than theirs, so I was able to save my life." Chen Qi suddenly clenched his fists and said to Zhang loudly, "Commander-in-Chief, you must kill all these bastards and avenge our dead comrades." Zhang folded his hands to support his chin, and there was no change in his expression. He just said to Chen Qi calmly, "Don't worry, we will never sit idly by and watch this matter. These Japanese dared to come to our country's land and run wild. Their ending is only one word: death." Zhang said it decisively, as if the god of death had sentenced those people's fate. He looked at Chen Qi and his voice became gentler. "You go back and heal your wounds first, and leave the rest to the region." Chen Qi nodded obediently, then limped out of Zhang's office with a cane and a nurse. Tu Yunli's eyes were fixed on Zhang, waiting for Zhang's order, and he would lead people over to kill all the Japanese in Linhai City. But Zhang has his own thoughts. The identities of these Japanese people must be confirmed. First of all, what needs to be done is to inform Shengjing District and then contact the top leaders of Japan. There are only 2 possible results. First, if the top leaders of Japan admit that these are their people, it means that a full-scale war is about to begin. This possibility is the lowest because with Japan's national strength, it is impossible to compete with China. Not to mention that they don't know how to live or die and come to invade China's territory. The most likely one is the second one, that the top leaders of Japan do not admit that those people have any relationship with them. That's right, whether they are organizations that invade in the name of individuals or mutants ordered by the top leaders of Japan, it doesn't matter. As long as the top leaders of Japan do not admit it, it means that the top leaders of Japan will not turn against China for them. In this case, it is not excessive for Jiangnan District to deal with those people. A mere team of Japanese mutants dares to run wild on my Chinese land. It's really looking for death. Zhang snorted coldly, then took out the communicator and began to contact the top leaders of the Shengjing district. After all, it involves neon, which is equivalent to foreign affairs. According to the convention, Shengjing still has to communicate.